Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Car Diaries, and today we're starting with an apology for my massive fuck up. So I was telling you that we'd have either an Aventador SV or a 992 Carrera 4S. Neither car has arrived, so we don't have either of those vehicles. However, we might have something better, as we've got one of just 50 Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. So firstly, before you laugh too much, yes, I am wearing jeans and trainers with a nice sort of tuxedo in the top half. I thought I'd better make an effort and try and look a little bit like James Bond, but God knows where my trousers and shoes are. So moving on, DBS TAG Edition, one of just 50 cars in the world, a very unique car, and of course based on the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, Aston Martin's new Super GT car. This car has 715 brake horsepower, 900 newton meters of torque, and is a direct competitor with the new Ferrari 812 Superfast, which we'll hopefully have on a future episode. Now, I've spent a bit of time with DBS in general, but this TAG edition is particularly special. So you'll note it's got every conceivable carbon fibre option ticked. We've got the carbon fibre bonnet louvers, we've even got the Superleggera script writing in the bonnet in carbon fibre. Those two badges alone are £3,000. So there's no expense spared on this absolutely unique vehicle. Coming round the side of the car, I particularly love these Pirelli P0 Colour Edition tyres, which complement the massive carbon ceramic brake calipers really nicely. So we've got nice little red touches all the way round. We've then got the TAG Heuer logo just above the DBS carbon fibre fender badge, which again, carbon on this car is just absolutely incredible. We've not even mentioned the fact that the full bonnet on the DBS and the boot lids on the DBS are full carbon fibre as well, as is your full roof panel and your roof strake there as well. So hinting at the Superleggera logo on the car, it really is, albeit it's still a heavy car, it's far lighter than the DB11 which this car is based on. As we come round and take a look inside the car, the interior is equally as bespoke. So we've got a combination of Alcantara and leather, all hinting at the car's bespoke nature. We've got the beautiful red welting, red stitching. The Alcantara's been quilted, which I've never seen in any other production Aston Martin before. I think it looks absolutely tremendous. And we've got lots of little tag touches inside as well. So we've got the embroidery on the backrest of the seat. We've got the logo again on the armrest. And we've also got the carbon fibre sills as you enter the car with the TAG logo as well, which I think looks tremendous. And as we work our way around the rear of the car, we've got the massive quad pipes, we've got the double rear diffuser, and again we've got the Aston Martin script writing, which is new on all of the 2018 model year cars onwards, which I think pays a really nice tribute to Aston Martin and also looks fantastic in the carbon fibre. So what is under the bonnet of this beast? Well, Aston Martin's very own 5.2 litre twin turbo V12 engine, which is an absolute masterpiece in itself. This particular car's been signed off by Aston Martin's CEO, Dr. Andy Palmer, so a very nice touch from Aston Martin, and it features the under bonnet gold pack, which gives you the gold heat shield and also the gold oil filler cap in the car, which I think looks tremendous, particularly as you can actually see the gold oil filler cap from through the louvers on the front bonnet as well, which is really nice touch. So 900 newton meters of torque. You can actually only utilise that in fourth gear onwards, as torque is limited in first and second to 600 newton meters and third to 750 newton meters. There's that much to put out through the rear wheels. So the real impressive figure is 50 to 100 miles per hour in just 4.2 seconds. Without further ado, let's take it out on the roads and show you what it's all about. So I was fortunate enough to have first driven the DBS at the commercial launch of the car in the south of France. I've spent quite a bit of time in DBS Superleggera, both on the road and on track. So I do know the car very well indeed. Now, powertrain wise, you've got three powertrains. You have GT, you have Sport, and you have Sport Plus. Exactly the same for the suspension, albeit it's controlled independently. So you have GT, Sport, and Sport Plus settings for the suspension. In my experience, Sport Plus is probably too stiff for the roads. On a properly tight twisty little B road like this, Sport's just pretty much perfect. That adjusts the damper setting in the car, but also adjusts the steering a little bit in the car as well. So the steering's a little bit heavier than it usually is in GT mode, which again I think is just perfect for these tight, twisty little roads. So I've just bumped it up into sport mode just now. Powertrain wise, my favourite powertrain mode always has to be Sport Plus. Sport Plus for me is just the perfect mode all round, especially when you're on the paddles. It opens the bypass valve in the exhaust system. It allows you to utilise all of the car's performance and power, which, let's not forget, is 715 brake horsepower and 900 newton meters of torque, all put out through those rear wheels in the car. And I must say, these Pirelli P0 Colour Edition tyres do a fantastic job of putting the power out. I think it also helps that the car's now on 21-inch wheels instead of 20s that were on the DB11. And with all that extra power and performance, you need the good brakes as well. So massive big carbon ceramic brake calipers in the car. Aston have traditionally used the CCM system, which is carbon ceramic matrix. They've moved on to CCBs, and the cars on this car are nothing short of tremendous. There's no point that you feel you need any more braking power. As Matt has probably felt from the passenger seat, they are very sensitive. They take a bit of getting used to, especially when I spent yesterday on this exact road in my Lotus, which has a lot of brake feel and it's very progressive. This is instant when you're on the brakes. It's very, very instant, so it does take a bit of getting used to, particularly when you're in town and things like that, doing sort of town driving. But before you know it, you're used to it, and that's my only one criticism, is a little bit of brake squeal occasionally, and the brakes can sometimes be too sensitive. But again, that's just that can be sorted by sort of adjusting your foot, to how sensitive the brakes are in the car. So I'm going to flick the car up now into Sport Plus mode for the powertrain, and the car does a tremendous job with the gearbox. So if we find a little stretch here where I can open it up a little bit, it'll go up into fourth. A bit of braking, you'll hear it drops down the gears as you come up to a corner to ensure you're in the right. So if I do hard braking, you hear it goes right down in a second, and you can get back on the power. Do need to watch, the roads are getting a little bit slippy. So what I tend to do is get on the paddles in Sport Plus mode, short shift, and that just allows you to put the power out really nicely indeed. And it also brings up a third display on your left hand screen here when you're in Sport Plus mode, showing the car's oil temperature. That doesn't show unless you're in Sport Plus mode for the powertrain, so you can get it to that midway point if you're really giving it the beans, which is around 100 degrees centigrade, and that gives you a good idea as to how hard you're pushing the car. I suppose the direct competitor to this car is the Ferrari 812 Superfast. I've not yet driven an 812 Superfast. We hope to have one on the channel, hopefully in the not too distant future. But the figure with the Aston is not the 0 to 60, it's the 50 to 100 miles per hour. The Aston does it in 4.2 seconds. Now don't quote me on this, but I believe the F12 is 5.2 seconds, so it's a full second quicker than the F12 Berlinetta, and the 812, I don't think they've yet announced an exact figure. I'll need to try and find that out, but I believe the 812 is a little bit slower than the 4.2 to 60, so really, really impressive figure. And when you're on the move, I suppose it's real world terms, that's when you really use the car. How many people actually do 0 to 60? You're usually on the move when you go out to overtake someone, or if you're on track, you're already on the move. So that's real world terms. The car's very, very impressive. So what is my opinion on the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera? For one, I absolutely love this car. I think it's a massive step on from Aston Martin DB11. The DB11 is a tremendous car as well, but the DBS is just that bit more special in every way. And I suppose that's what the name is all about, DBS, David Brown Special. That's traditionally what the car has been. It's been a special edition car. It's been something that bit more than whatever the previous model was. So yeah, based on DB11, but is it better than DB11? yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, and you would expect it to be at £225,000 plus options, or this TAG edition around the £300,000 price point. I love the massive big front grille in DBS. I think it's very Zagato-esque. It reminds me of Vanquish Zagato, especially the finish of the actual grille. I think it looks absolutely tremendous. It's got real presence. The fact that the haunches protrude out even more than they do on DB11, it's just got such a tremendous stance. The 21-inch wheels really fill the arches as well. So from a visual point of view, there's very few cars out there that have such an aggressive look to them, and when you see this thing coming up to behind you, especially in this beautiful Monaco Black paintwork, which is exclusive to the TAG edition, it looks so menacing. To drive, it's phenomenal. It's got all the power you could ever want. It really feels like a special car, which is what DBS has always been about. DBS, of course, standing for David Brown Special. I think it's a great progression on from DB11. DB11 was a great car, the first car in Aston Martin's second century plan. Then brought out Vantage, which was also a phenomenal car. And DBS, I feel, almost merges the two of them together. So it's got the comfort and usability of the DB11. I think it's probably got the suspension setup of the Vantage, albeit it's still very compliant in GT mode. And in terms of power, it's got the power of probably the two of them put together. The power in this thing is just tremendous. It's really incredible. So if you're thinking about a DBS, I cannot recommend getting out behind the wheel one, test drive one, go and see your local dealer, drive the car, and I guarantee you'll fall in love with this beast. Noise as well. They've done very well to retain that traditional Aston Martin V12 howl. You've also got the added benefit of those turbochargers, and the turbochargers actually scream in this thing. They actually scream at you. You don't get that in DB11. Under full acceleration, you hear it in the cabin, you hear it outside the car, which hopefully we'll be able to convey in this video, but it sounds absolutely tremendous. So I would 100% recommend get out, drive one for yourself, get some nice twisty little B-roads, and I guarantee you will fall in love with this car as much as I have. It really makes you proud to be British. I'm proud to have worked for Aston Martin Lagonda in the past, and I'm very excited to see what their future product is all about, knowing that there's going to be some mid-engine cars and things, which no doubt we'll have in reviews in the next few years. So thanks very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed episode 4 of the Car Diaries. I certainly have loved being behind the wheel of this car again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Let's go! Got a butter rub, another one to put it on this gill. A couple minutes, Dell's done. Ain't nobody fucking with this kid, so Del Jerry Sandusky, I'm gonna kill him with a stun gun. Come, get it, crumb, hit his bitter with a fit of venom when I split a drum. Take another visit in a minute with a minute to society is in the guy to defeat you Danny DeVito when I belittle literally, it'll better you battling anybody with a better you ahead of you like better, I'ma hit you with an automobile battery, bada bing, bada boom.